Hello and welcome back. In this part 2 of our video, I'm going to review the tracing process for our little Johnny Bravo character here. So I have my file embedded in here, and it's all about setting up your layers. So I'm going to go over here to my panels, open up my layers panel. If you do not have access to this, you can also go to Window, Layers. Do it that way. Okay, and get those layers opened up, and we're going to have just a total of 2 layers for this. We're going to do what I call an original lock and dim, and then a trace layer. So what I mean by original lock and dim, I'm going to take this layer 1, I'm going to double click it in this empty spot right here, double click. I'm going to name this original, that's the original file. I'm going to lock it, and then I'm going to dim it, and you can lower the number. The lower the number, the lighter the image will appear. So I'm going to knock this down to about a 25. If 25 is not light or too light for you, you can go back and adjust your dim settings. Okay. Notice when I put my cursor over the image, I can't do anything because that layer is now locked. So now we're going to create a new layer above it, and we're going to name that Trace. So that's the original lock and dim with a trace layer above it. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to zoom in to my document, Command plus, Control plus on Windows, so I can see what's going on. We're going to use our pen tool, so press P for the pen tool, and then I need to adjust my pen tool settings up here at the top. So I want to have no fill. This is your fill, and that's your stroke. I want to have no fill on my pen tool, and then we can do a black stroke. And your stroke weight, you can go either 1 or 0.75, and everything else is fine. Okay. Now, here's the thing. All right, just as I said in the class, you cannot approach this as a traditional trace, trying to trace the whole thing as one. Everything that's a separate color needs to be a separate shape. That way, that shape can take on that color. Okay. Also, you want to try to overlap your pieces so that you get nice, tight lines. You don't have any gaps from one shape to the next. Okay, so I'm going to start with the arm. I'm going to zoom in nice and tight here, and imagine that this arm is tucking inside the hair. So about there, I'm going to start, and I always like to start my traces with a click. Now, with Illustrator, you're either making straight lines or curved lines. Let me delete this for a second. Let me come over here. So a straight line is a click and a click. Okay. A curved line, delete that, is a click and a drag. Right? So you're either doing clicks for straight lines or a click and a drag for curved lines. Okay. So here we go. Start it right here with a click. Then over here, I'm going to drag. Then I'm going to delete this handle because it's more than likely going in the wrong direction. So click the anchor point where it came from. Then I'm going to do my next point. Drag. Click. Click. This line they're not going to see because it's tucking inside the shirt. Drag. Click the anchor point. Drag. Click the anchor point. Close off the shape. You'll see a circle to close it off with a click. Okay. These are anchor points that we've set out. So if you need to adjust any of the anchor points, you can use the direct selection tool. And if you take a look at the keyboard shortcut, the direct selection tool has a keyboard shortcut of A. Think of A for anchor points. So I'm going to press A, and I can adjust this. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my pen tool, P for my pen tool, and I'm going to do his shirt. Okay, so start with the easy point to start with. Point, drag, little curves here, little curve there. I'm holding down my space bar to move around my document. Okay, right here, I'm going to do a nice long curve to match that line. Click, drag, click. I'm coming right up here because the arm, when I do this arm, it's going to go over this shape. These are just straight lines right here for his shirt cuff. So just a little click, a little click. Top of the shoulder is kind of tricky, all right, because there's actually two curves here, all right. So I'm going to actually put a point right here, drag, and then I'm going to click. I don't have to get rid of this handle because it's actually in the perfect position for this curve. So I'm simply going to click, and that handle makes the curve just right. Come here, drag, click. It's a bit of a straight line there. Close off the shirt. You see the circle to close off the shape with a little bit of a drag. There we go. So now the shirt is done. Okay. The great thing about working with layers is that you can hide the original, and then you can see the trace results on the separate layer. Okay, now for the pants. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, we're going to tuck the pants inside the shirt. So I'm going to actually start the pants a little bit inside the shirt there. His pants is a lot of straight lines, so this line here is straight. The pants is three pieces. You have the pants, the left cuff, and the right cuff. So we're going to do the pants first. Do my line there, there, a little bit of a curve there, a bit of a curve there, a bit of a curve there. Remember, we're coming inside the pants, inside the shirt to close it off. Okay, some of these lines I need to adjust. I'm going to press A for my direct selection tool to adjust the anchor points. Okay, now for his cuffs, pen tool. So basically just four-sided shapes. His shoes, I'm going to start the shoe inside the cuff, so about there. Okay, remember I said in class that his shoes look like those old World War II bombers, so you know, it's kind of a little bomber shape. Give you an idea how to shape it. Let's do the other shoe inside the cuff. Okay, that's his shoes. All right, now we're going to do his arm. Okay, the arm, because we're doing an overlap here, I can't tuck the arm inside the shirt. So this, for the arm, the line is going to meet up right there. Okay, so let's start the arm like in this corner right here. There, drag, drag. there, right on the line. Oops. Right on the line. Just match it up. There. Okay. Now for his neck is just that little area of the neck that you're going to see. So if I go like this, I'm just going to make a general shape right there. All this part of the line you're not going to see. You're only going to see that line, but it's a closed off shape. We'll do his head now. His head, if you follow the black line, you'll see that it's only on 3 of the 4 sides. There's no black line here. So we're going to do his head as like an open bucket shape like that. All right. Now, if I try to come here to do another part, notice the line is trying to connect. So if you ever need to reset the pen tool, on the Mac you hold down the Command key, Command, click in the empty area. On Windows you would hold down Control, click in the empty area, and that resets the pen tool. So now for the head, I'm going to do his ears next. His ears, you know, another way to do it, I'm going to go over here and get the circle tool, the round, no, where is it? The ellipse tool. And I'm just going to do little circles for his ear. Okay. And here's a little tip for you if you need to copy in Illustrator. On the Mac, you hold down the Option key or Alt on Windows, and you can Alt or Option drag a copy. So that's his ears. For the glasses, go back to my pen tool, P for my pen tool, and they kind of look like seashells. Because this is a symmetrical curve, I don't have to get rid of this handle. The handle here is in the right spot to make it symmetrical. Just click. Okay. Same thing here. Curve. This is the top of a symmetrical shape. Symmetrical here. The handle is already set, so just click. Okay. All right. His ears, although his sideburns rather, those are just kind of weird triangle shapes. So we'll go like that. Triangle shape. Okay. His hair is a couple of pieces here. If you take a look at the yellow, so ignore the black, visualize the yellow. So you'll trace the yellow piece. Okay, that's the yellow. All right, then there's the black. Now, just so that you don't end up, you know, putting the black lines over these lines, I'm going to take my selection tool and just move this over for a second. Those are going to be the black highlight lines. All right, we're almost done. Now it's just to put in these accent lines. All right, these are basically just pen tool lines that need to be placed in here. Every time you set the line, you reset the pen tool. So start from here, pen tool, Command or Control click to reset it. So there we have it. That is the trace. If I hide my original layer, you can see that we basically got a nice outline of Johnny Bravo. In the next video, if you're watching, I'll know that you will have tried this on your own. In the next video, I'll show you how we color it in.